Good morning, Tony Dattino, founder of the USA Memory Championship, and working on several things on mental fitness this year that I'm excited to be a part of, and continue to evolve the importance of people to understand the things that they can do to improve their mental fitness. Another word, cognitive fitness. And as I started last week, got these two brochures, which I will be talking about over the next few weeks. Emotional wellness is the one I was picking at. It comes from the NIH Government for Wellness Toolkits. And the one that I wanted to talk about today, I have talked about so many different times, but they've got, again, some tips. So what I really like about this book is they cover a topic and then they give you a series of tips, the things you can do to practice that behavior that helps you to build emotional wellness, or what I call cognitive fitness. To fit everything in we want to do every day, we often sacrifice sleep. Interesting concept, right? We got a busy agenda. We've got things we got to do with the family, with our work, things that are just have to get done around the house. And what we do is we compromise our sleep. So I'll sleep less hours, be more tired, and my goodness, what that may lead to that might not be good for us. Sleep affects our mental and physical health. And how often do we not link that together? Meaning, not only do we have a mental, we're groggy, but when we try to do things, hopefully you're not repairing something, you're using any tools or instruments, driving somewhere, you cannot function at your best. Sleep helps you to think more clearly, have quicker reflexes, and focus better. And how often do we step back and think about those practices? We can think clearer, we have a faster reflex of things, and we can focus on the things that we're trying to do or learn, or if we're in school. God, you just got kids going to school some days, and you say, my goodness, that kid's going to learn anything going to school looking like he's dragging his bag with him, and or riding his bike looking like he's wobbly? Take steps to make sure you're getting a good night's sleep is the first practice of this. And there's a lot of research on that, the difference of sleep just based on your age and what your age is and how many hours of sleep you need. Younger needs a little bit more sleep. Older seniors may need maybe an hour less, but 7 to 9 seems to be the sweet spot. Go to bed at the same time each night. So here comes the tips. I thought some of these tips were superb. Go to bed at the same time each night and wake up at the same time each morning. What was interesting about that, in some recent articles I've read out of some of the science journals, is it's more important that you get up at the same time every morning than it is you get to sleep at the same time every night. I thought that was interesting research that was discovered. Sleep in a dark, quiet, comfortable environment. Now, boy, when they say dark, the blue lights, the red lights, the phone lights, the TV lights, all these different lights, until you become more aware of the importance of having no lights in your room. And so when they say dark, they mean dark. Put yourself in a cave with no lights on. Look at your shades, any light coming through your shades. Do you have a TV button light on? Do you have a temperature light? And what lights might you have that, believe it or not, can be somewhat distracting, even when you think your eyes are closed? Exercise daily, but not before bedtime. So if you're an exercise person, again, this one's kind of weird because I sometimes will exercise at night based on my day, and I'm lucky enough it does not impact my sleep in a negative way, but they suggest that you exercise daily, a walk after dinner. And exercise now is being defined as stretching, maybe some minor weightlifting, some aerobic activity, running, stretching, different things that you can do, but not before bedtime. Before bedtime, try to relax. That's a key one. So what I've learned from that and trying to relax and de-stress myself is no news after 6 o'clock. I watch TV programs that are not going to tax my brain, not going to generate my crazy, and therefore I'm not going to sit and watch TV that builds what I call synergy of thought, meaning it gets you thinking and thinking and thinking. I have a similar thing. If I can, for the most part, no phone calls after 8 o'clock. Because sometimes nighttime phone calls can be a little bit more stressful. So again, I have these simple little things I've learned over the years that help me get a better night's sleep. Sometimes, not always, sometimes I get a 9 o'clock call, and anything after 9 is like, uh-oh, what's happening in the world? Avoid alcohol and large meals before bedtime. Well, I don't have the problem with alcohol, so I'm not, maybe a glass of wine occasionally, if it's even once a week, maybe a beer once a week, but I'm not, and that's with dinner, and large meals before bedtime. And so I try to get to my, and again, people are saying get your larger meal at lunchtime. I still have my dinner 5:30, 6 o'clock time period. And then my trick is not to snack after 8 o'clock. And so I've built these little standards inside my day-to-day activities so that I am not in sleep-deprived mode, getting a good night's rest. And most important is you have your brain clear, right? Not focus on things that are going to drive you crazy. Though when I am working on a project or I have something important that I'm doing and my brain is working, I've learned to do one other thing. Get up in the middle of the night, 2, 3, whenever that brainstorm hits you, I have a notepad next to the bed. I'll jot down some key notes, look at it, make sure it's all complete, put it back down on the nightstand, and bam, I can go right back to sleep rather than sit there and say, I got to remember this, I got to remember this, I got to remember this. You know what? It's on that piece of paper. I'm putting it in the bed. I always remember reading about Thomas Edison, waking and writing down his ideas and then going back to sleep. The smart idea of making notes of things. Avoid stimulants like cocaine, like caffeine and nicotine. Yeah, avoid cocaine for sure. But stimulants like nicotine and caffeine. So smoking before bed, probably not a good idea. A caffeine hit, no coffee after a certain time. I know a lot of people by 2 in the afternoon, they're not drinking any more coffee or taking anything with caffeine, though I'm surprised. Sometimes after dinner I'll have a piece of chocolate and that's got caffeine in it, but so far that doesn't seem to have an impact on me. Don't take naps after mid-afternoon and keep your naps short. Don't take naps after mid-afternoon. So let's say 2:30. I said 3 o'clock. As I've gotten older, sometimes I have this urge to take a nap in the afternoon, and if it's not by 3 o'clock, then I'm not taking it. I find if I do doze off in the 4 o'clock time frame, I'm up till midnight, and I usually try to get to bed by 10:30, 11 o'clock. Try to get natural sunlight for at least 30 minutes a day. My God, that is something I need to get out of the house every day. Natural sunlight is great, and I have plenty of sunlight, as you can see in my residence here. There's no problem with windows and sun. The sun is out in the back right now, coming across the back of the house. Get plenty of sunshine and sunlight, but I like to get out of the house, even if I get out and I go out and walk for 30 minutes. I'm trying to make a point. If I'm out in the car, I try to park somewhere where I'm doing more walking than not. But 30 minutes a day of getting natural sunlight, getting out into that. And then consult a healthcare professional if you have ongoing sleep problems. And I'm not big on that one all the time because I think there are so many things you can do yourself, and I'm not always sure that the healthcare professionals realize this is probably one of the most difficult things you can get healthcare on. How do I get a good night's sleep? And how many people I know that have insomnia and they've been through clinical things and other activities. The only thing that comes out of that sometimes is sleep apnea. Might you suffer from sleep apnea, which is a whole different ballgame and changes the whole ground rules around. So let me recap. Today's session is getting good quality sleep. Go to bed at the same time each night and make sure you wake up at the same time every morning. Make sure your lighting is all off and you want to sleep in a dark and uncomfortable environment, so keep the lights off. And make sure you don't have these little blue lights that we have on different technology things in our bedrooms. Exercise daily, but exercise can be a 15-minute walk after dinner, but not certainly before bedtime. Limit the use of electronics. Oh, I missed that one. No electronics before bed. Laptops, computers. Cell phones, my goodness. No electronics before bed. I missed that one on my original thing. And relax before bedtime, maybe a bath or do some reading. No alcohol or large meals before bedtime. No nicotine or caffeine. Napping should be somewhere around 3 o'clock in the afternoon or earlier. Get your natural sunlight every day, and follow some of these steps. And if they don't work, maybe it's time for you to consult a professional. Maybe you got to do a sleep apnea study of some sort. That is my Live with Tony for Monday morning, and I hope all of you well, not all of you can't do this, but watching yesterday's Super Bowl, I hope you enjoyed the commercials, if nothing else. Have a great week, and we'll see you on Wednesday.